Big fan of your comedy podcast. Let's do it every Tuesday on the way to work. Anyway, here's my deal. I moved to Austin, Texas about 3 fucking years ago because of a job. I had just broken up with a long time, on again, off again girlfriend and was finally done with the relationship. I made the decision to be single for a while and enjoy the single life in Austin. Worked out well, but I soon met a lady. She turned out to be the girl for me, and I was soon shopping for rings. So we're getting married in the fall. Congratulations. And I moved in about 6 months ago. You see, my girl is a real hard worker, as am I. Jesus Christ, this is fucking long.
I would like to know how long he knew her before moving in together. Whenever you rush things is where you miss the signs, you miss the red flags. So, overall, just be mindful of the fact that the honeymoon phase or the infatuation can last anywhere from 6 to 18 months. You want to give yourself at least a year before getting into a full-on relationship with somebody to really get an idea of what they are, what they are, who they are, and their backstory. Like, what's their relationship with their mom, with their dad, right? Do they have daddy issues? Or if you're a girl watching this, is he a son husband, right? Does the mom use him to fill the masculine energy in her life? Giving it about a year is a good time to see whether or not they're consistent with certain actions or certain characteristics over a long period of time, or whether they're just putting on a facade.
Settle in, everybody. No one has ever given us anything in life, and we both worked hard to earn what we have. And because of our hard work, we both have successful careers. My Boston accent just came out there. Successful careers. So she's busted her ass through college, got a job, and bought a house on her own. Impressive because she was only 24 at the time. God damn it, I wish I lived in Texas and could buy a house at 24. Middle of fucking nowhere. Anyways, and since then, we have worked hard to make it a home together. All sounds good, right? Yeah, it sounds great. Well, there is a catch. Oh, Jesus. Here we go. She has this friend who she's known since childhood. And they grew up together. This sounds like a fucking romantic comedy. They are like sisters, blah, blah, blah. She let her friend move into the house before we met. Oh, no. And was barely charging the girl rent at all. She also had her sister move in, but as soon as we decided to live together, her sister moved out like a normal fucking person. Anyway, so this friend of hers is still living in the house even 6 months after we got engaged and moved in together. Not only did she stay, she also had her loser boyfriend move in while living there. And while living there, she bought a cat and a dog. Well, I mean, what the fuck, dude? How come you're not saying anything? Oh, whoa, here's the next.
He can't say anything because it's not his house. It's not his house. As a man, you can't move in with your girl, man. You cannot move in with your girl. She has to move in with you. Okay? Just so that you can keep your, masculine frame, as the red pill people say.
You the other girl. You the mama. So, at least I'm a girl. At least I'm a girl. And I'm not daddy. I'm grown. I'm not daddy. I'm grown.
Stop hitting your chest. You're making a radio.
But yeah, so you can't move in with your girl. Also, just an FYI, depending on the state you are living in, or country, or province, if you're in Canada, when someone stays in your place for more than 30 days, they are entitled to tenants' rights. So they are no longer just a guest, but now a tenant. So in California, I believe the mark is about 30 days. Once someone has been living in your house for past 30 days, or they gave you money in order to stay there, in a sense, right? That can create a landlord-tenant relationship, even if you are a tenant yourself and you don't necessarily own the property, right? So I know it is in California. New York is the same thing. I'm in Ontario, Canada. Ontario is the same thing. About 30 days. So depending on what state you're in or what city you're in, before you allow someone to come in and live in your property, you have to have some type of written agreement in place. Talk to an eviction, tenant, or landlord attorney, or lawyer, or solicitor, right? So that you know exactly how long they can stay without you essentially becoming a landlord. Because if they stay longer than that, then you now have to go through the eviction process. You have to actually evict them, give them a 30-day notice, and possibly take them to court if they don't move out, which can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months and cost you upwards of $3,000. Do you understand?
In terms of money, we have no money.
I know the eviction moratorium in some places is being lifted, so you may have a family member or a friend asked to come live with you or stay with you while they quote-unquote get on their feet. Be careful. Or perhaps, if they are going to stay, still talk to an attorney or still talk to a lawyer. but ensure that they waive their potential tenants' rights if they stay for a longer period of time.
Sentence. I had a million talks with my girl about it and how it's wildly inappropriate to have these people and animals living in our house when we're trying to start a family, but she feels responsible for the well-being of her friend and doesn't want to throw her out on her ass. Oh, no. Holy shit, dude. How big is this house? Anyways, eventually I talked my girl into sitting down with her friend and her boyfriend and kindly tell them it's time to start looking for another place to live. They agreed, and everything was all good. So 3 months later, the friend still doesn't have a job, and her boyfriend is only working part-time. As far as I can tell, they haven't started looking for jobs or a place to live. I've heard her complaining to my girl about not wanting to sign a lease on a dump because she is planning on getting a job and will be able to afford a nicer place soon. Yeah, she's stringing you along. It's bullshit. She's the laziest bitch I ever met. It sounds like it, dude. The way you're describing it, I already hate her. I'm coming home every work day. I'm coming home from work every day, and her and her boyfriend are sitting on the couch playing video games. Oh, my God. I also recently found out that my girl...
Oh, my days. You give people an inch, they take a mile. You let one thing slide, now they're ice skating.
Girl is not charging her friend any rent at all, and the boyfriend only pays $200 a month, which is nothing compared to what he could be making with what we could be making with the roommate. And he's a fucking loser as well. 30 years old and never had a full-time job in his life. He brags about not having any debt all the time, but it's because he's a loser and he's been living off his girlfriend's student loans and my girl's kindness for the past 2 years. Do I have to read the rest of this? Let me blow through the last 2 paragraphs and mercifully end this thing. People try to keep these shorter. I suck at reading here. I would be constantly bitching about these people to my girl, but it kills her to know that I'm not happy. She spends a lot of time trying to make my life better, and I really can't stand to see her sad or frustrated. She's stuck in a tight spot. Yeah, dude, the same thing she's doing with you, that she hates to see you not happy and she wants to keep you happy, she's doing that with her friends. She has to make a stand here. So he says, so to make a point, I've been leaving my stuff out in the kitchen and the living room and not cleaning up after myself. And in front of everybody, I tell my girlfriend to leave it, that they should have to clean it up because we're doing them a favor for letting them live there. I've pretty much been a cocksucker openly to them every day for the last 3 months, but they haven't gotten a hint. Yeah, they have. They're fucking deadbeats. They're just ignoring it. So anyways, but me behaving like that makes my girlfriend uncomfortable too, so I've backed off a bit. So the latest is that they finally are starting to pick up on the fact that we want them out and are making provisions to move out. But I've recently found out that they're planning on moving in with my girl's mom, just down the street. Her mom thinks of the friends as a daughter or a good family friend and is allowing this. This pisses me off because I know they're just going to mooch off her mom, just like they did my girl. So now I know I'm planning on having another talk. No, don't do that. Don't do that. So now I am planning another talk with them about starting their own life separate from my girl or her family, but I know they wouldn't get the message unless I came out and became a complete dick, which would totally kill my girlfriend. What should I do? This is what you do. All right?
You have to evict them, okay? But let's rewind real quick.
Yeah, it's rewind time.
Okay? You should have never moved in with your girl necessarily either. Your girl should have moved in with you. Or y'all should have got an apartment and then bought a home together. Because just the framework of that is like you're under her roof, right? And you're not even like necessarily like married yet. So as far as the relationship part is concerned, give it a year to make this girl your girlfriend. Allow her or him, whomever, to show you their crazy side or their toxic side or their unsavory characteristics. Don't rush into it. Then give it about, I'd say, 2 or 3 years to move in together, if need be. And when you move in together, please devise a cohabitation agreement. A cohabitation agreement just outlines what he or she may be entitled to in the event the two of you become a common law couple. Common law is essentially when you and a person you're dating have been living together for 3 or more years, depending on where you live, you are considered a common law couple. And in that case, if you break up, he or she may be entitled to some of your assets, net worth, stuff like that. So have that in place. Just in general, any major move you make, consult a lawyer or attorney, okay? Please and thank you. But the case is right now you have unwanted guests or essentially tenants in your home. So if you have a family, friend, cousin who is staying longer than they should have, you have to go through the eviction process. Call up your local attorney or eviction attorney, tenant or landlord attorney in your local area. Call them up, write out an eviction notice, give it to them, and you're gonna have to wait at least 30 days to get them out of your house by force, because they are no longer trespassing. The crime of trespassing is committed when someone comes onto your property without consent. You give them consent, so they're no longer trespassing. Now you have to evict them. There's so many horror stories on Reddit about someone's cousin, for example. They only wanted to stay for a week. They ended up staying almost 4 to 5 months. Crazy. People take your kindness for weakness, man.
Move into your girlfriend's mom's house. Let them fucking do it. Get it out of your house. All right? Eventually, they will wear out their welcome at your mom's house, and then they're gone. But the thing is, right now, is if you tell her mom that they're fucking deadbeats and that type of shit, you'll either come off like a dick, or she'll say, well, then the hell with it, they're not moving in, and then they'll be like, well, we can't move out of your place, and now you're stuck. All right? You have the things that wouldn't leave in your fucking house, and they're leaving. Let them leave. Let them go down to your sister's mom's house. This is probably where your girlfriend's mom's house. This is probably where she learned that fucking behavior from. You know? So, that's her house. Right now what it is you personally hate these motherfuckers, and you want them to live in the shithole that they so rightfully deserve to live in. So what you're doing right now is you're letting your personal hatred of them get in the way of your ultimate goal, which is to get them the fuck out of the house, which is happening. Okay? If her mother wants to take them in, let her do it. And eventually she will discover that they're fucking moochers. Now I know what you're thinking, like, what kind of a fucking future son-in-law am I if I don't give her the heads up? And I'm telling you, just judging by the way your future bride is, this is just how they are. They're giving people who get taken advantage of by mooches, and the same way your fiance is learning this lesson, your mother's going to learn the lesson. So these people are actually great that they came into your life, because hopefully you'll be able to use them as an example all throughout your marriage. Whatever their fucking names are, you're going to be like, well, look, we're going to end up in another situation like Kathy and Michael Fuckface. Remember that, when they sat on the goddamn couch playing Atari for 3 fucking years? Yeah, dude, listen, you don't want to fight both those fights. You'll end up like America. You're going to have 2 wars going on at once. You're going to go bankrupt. Don't do that shit. All right? Iraq is your house. Let them go to fucking Afghanistan. Don't fucking worry about it, or vice versa. We're going to Afghanistan first. I don't know how to fucking say it. I don't read. I don't give a shit.
So basically, yeah, if you are someone who's renting a place, or you are the owner of a property, let's say you're doing Airbnb, for example, either you're a homeowner, you're renting, or you're putting your place out on an Airbnb. If a guest stays longer than 30 days, as far as I know, in California, if it's more than 30 days, in Ontario, Canada, if it's more than 30 days, in New York, if it's more than 30 days, they can be entitled to tenant privileges, essentially, and must go through the eviction process in order for you to get them out. So if you're a homeowner or you do Airbnb on your property, I would recommend not allowing people to stay longer than 21 days, maybe 26 days at the most, so that you avoid them becoming a tenant. And also, in your local area, call up the landlord, tenant, or eviction attorney just to confirm the details, just confirm what you can do, how long they can stay. Perhaps the guest or your family member or a friend or whomever can waive their tenant privileges. Just go through the legal process to understand what it's like in your area to confirm. Also, even if you are renting the place yourself and you don't own a property, if someone stays with you for more than 30 days as well, depending on your area, it might differ, but they too can be a tenant in that unit if they stay at X number of days. So be careful. Family, friend, cousin, girlfriend, whoever, if they stay with you for a certain amount of time, they can become a tenant. Better yet, they can become an unwanted tenant, living in your space, eating your food, driving up the utility bills, etc., etc. Be careful. But as always, it doesn't feed you, don't water it, and too much of any good thing is good for nothing. If you want a more in-depth video and a whole breakdown on the eviction moratorium and how to avoid unwanted guests and squatters living in your living space, watch that video right here, or watch my other video right here on how you can edit reaction style videos off of your iPhone no laptop needed, and start making some, you know, money, some YouTube money online. But as always, it doesn't feed you, don't water it, and too much of any good thing is good for nothing. How you lot doing today? Say it with me. I'm doing more, saying less, and keeping that same energy. No cap. Flip the script. I'm out. Deuces.
Bow. It's two. I'm on track and I'm back in the groove. I'm with my bros and we're on the move. Look, man, I'm still sitting in the same spot and it's been a year. Man need glasses, visions ain't clear. Keep distance, they can never get near. We're cut from a different cloth, they can never compare.